Hi everyone, I wanted to go over how to take care of your retainers. This is a question that I get asked almost every day as we take people's appliances off. So, without further ado, here we go. My main philosophy on retainers is that you need to wear them the rest of your life, unless you don't want straight teeth. So, either the rest of your life or until you don't want straight teeth, which most people want straight teeth the rest of their life if they invested in their smile, which is how we like to view orthodontics. We hope it's a one-time deal where you invest in your smile and then you get retainers and you get to maintain that smile. So at Cooper Orthodontics, you'll get 2 sets of retainers, or at least if you're in our standard retention protocol. That means 2 uppers, 2 lowers. What I want you to do is wear 1 set of those retainers every single night for the first couple years. And every 6 to 8 months, try in your second set of retainers, make sure they both fit. If your first set gets damaged or kind of stretched out or left in the sun and your second set feels really tight, then you might need to move on to your second set. Call us to evaluate the first set of retainers or even get another set of retainers, because you'll always want to have a backup set. So for those first couple of years, you're wearing it every single night. Then year 3 and 4, you can reduce down to about 5 nights a week. And then after that, in year 5 or 6, you can reduce down to 3 nights a week. Now, when you're 7 years out of braces, which is a long time, right? Orthodontics usually takes 2 to 4 years. So now you've had orthodontics for 2 to 4 years, and then you've had retainers for 7 years. You can go to checking it 1 night a week. And what I would do is wear it 1 night a week, just put it on your calendar and do it. As long as your teeth feel good and settled and your retainers go in and out easily, you can stay at 1 night a week. There's no guarantee that you will be able to stay reduced at 1 night a week. Sometimes people will pick up clenching and grinding habits because they're stressed out, or they picked up a CrossFit habit and they have a muscle imbalance, or whatever it is. Even pregnancy can cause your ligaments to kind of loosen and your teeth to shift at a faster rate. So you might have to wear your retainer more often if you're pregnant. All of these factors can mean that you actually wear it more than 1 night a week. So know yourself. If you can tell your teeth are shifting, increase your wear. But at a very minimum, we say check it once a week the rest of your life. So cleaning these retainers. After you wear them at night, you're gonna want to brush them every morning. We suggest anything, like we as an orthodontic profession, suggest anything that doesn't have abrasiveness to it, which most toothpastes have a lot of abrasiveness in them. So you're gonna wanna have kind of like a hand soap without microbeads or something available with a separate toothbrush to brush them. Now, I always found that made my retainers taste like soap. So then I would always like rinse them with Listerine or something and store them for the next night. Unbeknownst to me, when I was younger, that actually helped them stay a little bit clearer and brighter. So that's a little tidbit. You can also use EverSmile foam, and eventually I might have to update this if that company gets sold or something, but you can put a little pump in and it has the foam and it'll really, really gradually whiten your teeth and help your retainers stay clear. And you do that at night before you put your retainers in. So that's kind of a cool product that's out there on Amazon. I think it's like 20 bucks a bottle on Amazon right now. If you see that your retainers are getting kind of filmy or fuzzy and you are already brushing them every single morning, that's when you go ahead and soak them in like a retainer bright or Invisalign crystals or something like that. So that's something you can do to help brighten them up. Protective case. This is super important. When you take your retainers out in the morning, you need to put them in the protective case, because if you put them on your nightstand or you put them on the dash of your car or you put them in the kitchen, somebody inevitably will scoop them up, put them in the trash. Your mom will be straightening your room, knock them on the ground, not even know they're there, and you will be without a retainer. Here's a fun fact about Dr. Cooper in college. I liked to keep my retainers in a cup on my counter, which I thought was super awesome because then I could dry out. I didn't have to wear out the case. I thought it was great. Well, While I was at class one day, my roommate let a maintenance guy in to fix just a few little odds and ends around our apartment. And this maintenance guy decided to knock over stuff on my counter as he was fixing something in the bathroom. Could not find my retainer. I don't know if he stepped on it and then threw it away because he was embarrassed that he actually did break it, or if he just swept up his mess and my retainer got swept up in the mess. But could not find one of my retainers. I had an upper and a lower, and one of them I found on the floor and the other one could not find. Well, my teeth shifted, and then, as if you know me and you've watched some of my other videos, you know my grandfather was my orthodontist. So I called up my grandfather and I said, hey, I need a new retainer. And he was like, you're in college 6 hours away from me. And I said, yes. And he said, so we can't get that for you until you come down here. So I had to make a special trip down to my grandfather and get an impression. And then, as a special treat just for me, I didn't get a clear retainer. I got a Holly retainer with finger springs and everything. It was my special punishment to wear that in college. So, anyways, that's why you keep it in the retainer case. If you're ever out in public and you want to stick your retainers in a napkin, don't do it. It will get thrown away, or even if you have it in a napkin in your pocket, it'll crush the retainers if you sit on it or even like smush it in your front pocket, and it'll just crack them. Okay, so another thing that'll happen, you'll get little cracks in them, and as long as the cracks are not painful, keep wearing your retainer. But that is the point at which you call your orthodontist to get a new retainer. You do not wait for the whole retainer to split apart. If there's a small crack that's starting, you get the retainer made before that small crack turns into a big split. Most orthodontists charge a fee for lost and broken retainers. We're no different here, unless you're in the Love Your Smile membership, in which case you get one free set of retainers every single year. So if you just need it, you call us up, we use your old scan, we make it for you. Also, if you let your retainers get really hot and deform, like in Houston, Texas, our cars get really hot about 4 or 5 months out of the year, and it will actually melt your retainers. I have seen melted retainers melted to dashes in Houston, Texas. You do not want that. It's bad for your car. It's bad for your retainers. It's really annoying. So the other thing you do not want to do is boil your retainers. You may think you're cleaning them if you're boiling them, but you will deform them. So do not boil your retainers. Definitely, if you need to disinfect your retainer, the best thing to do is pour straight alcohol on it and leave it for at least 2 minutes. Disinfect anything you need. So kill lots of germs. That's actually a good thing to do after you have a cold or the flu, and especially now that we have COVID-19 that exists. If you're like, ooh, I've been sick and I wore my retainer, just pour the alcohol on there and soak it for 2 minutes. Or even just pour a little cup of alcohol, get them completely submerged, leave it for 2 to 5 minutes, pull them out, they're disinfected. Not sterilized, disinfected. All right, here's another thing that happens, is that pets love how these things smell, because they smell like you, they smell mouthy. I don't know, pets are weird, but dogs and cats love to get a hold of these things. This is another reason to keep it in your retainer case, like on a counter that your pets are not climbing up on. Because if you leave it on your bedside table, just out and about, and your pets are allowed in your bedroom, they will get it and chew on it. So, fair warning, put it away from pets. Okay. Fit. All right. Your retainers should fit your teeth if you're wearing them properly. So if you start to see gaps developing between your teeth and the retainer, if you were in Invisalign treatment or clear aligner treatment, if you were in Invisalign treatment or clear aligner treatment, and you used to have gaps between the trays in your teeth, you knew you needed to wear your aligner more. If this is happening with your retainers, that means your teeth are shifting. So you need to increase the amount of time that you're wearing those trays. The other thing you can do just to double check, because you have two sets, right? You always have the set you're wearing and a backup set, is check your backup set and make sure that the first and second set fit the same way and they both have gaps between your teeth and the tray. And if they're both the same way, that means your teeth are shifting. If one is one way and one is another way, then it might be time to call your orthodontist so you can parse through what that really means. It normally means that either one retainer got deformed or has loosened up and worn out over time. So, follow-up visits. Here's something that's cool. We used to have follow-up visits as orthodontists with our retention patients, heaven knows how many years after we finished your case. And some people showed up, some people didn't, but it was the only way for us to check anything. And so at Cooper Orthodontics, we realized that the people who were wearing their retainers were the ones that were coming in for the appointments, which then almost made the appointment useless for that person because they didn't really need to be there because they didn't need a replacement. They didn't need a pep talk on how to wear it, and it looked great. So with our switch to digital monitoring at home, we are now offering the ability for us to monitor your retention at home. And it's really awesome because it's just an app on your phone. You download it. We let the app know that you're our patient. And then you have a set of cheek retractors and a scan box, and you scan your photos in every 3 months. So that's more often than you would ever want to go see your orthodontist on a regular basis after you finished up your treatment anyways. And if there is shift in the teeth, which there is artificial intelligence built in to the program that will tell you if there is shift in your teeth. And if it says, ooh, your teeth are shifting, either that means we need to increase the retainer wear, or we need to get you a replacement retainer to take you back to that end result that you loved. But it's a great way to have that constant check. And as I mentioned before, when you're scanning in every 3 months and you're part of our Love Your Smile membership, you also will get a free set of retainers each year as you need it. All right, so why would things change if you are wearing your retainer and you're scanning in and the teeth are not shifting, but your bite just feels off or something? Well, if you got orthodontics finished as a teenager, your lower jaw can actually grow into your 20s, and we've seen that happen. And so your teeth may be perfectly straight, like the upper teeth are straight and the lower teeth are straight, but the lower jaw keeps growing, and then you're in an underbite like this. So if you start to see that your lower teeth are coming forward, but your teeth are perfectly straight, it's time to talk to your orthodontist, because really the option is to try and wear like some sort of orthopedic device to impede that growth until you stop growing, or look at doing surgery. So that can be a pretty serious deal, but it is something you want to pay attention to, because if you leave your teeth in that underbite, then having had orthodontics before doesn't mean that your bite is actually in the ideal spot, and you can actually wear down teeth, crack them, be more susceptible to root canals, crowns, and fillings. Not what you want to hear, right? The other thing that can happen is that you actually have joint degeneration or overgrowth at the top of your lower jaw. And that's when you actually will start seeing people's jaws recede, is if you're having an arthritic or a habitual resorption process in shortening your lower jaw right here at the condyle. It's called the temporomandibular joint. And when you have issues with it, it's called temporomandibular joint disorder, TMD. And that can actually cause your teeth to go back and your front to open. So if you're seeing those types of things, we're probably looking at a joint issue. Usually it goes along with muscle pain, headaches, shoulder or neck pain or imbalances, even airway issues like not being able to breathe. So you're constantly mouth breathing, so you constantly have your lower jaw open, and it's causing pressure on there, and it's causing resorption. So all of those things are tied together, and your teeth could be perfectly straight and your retainers fit perfectly well, but you have this whole other process going on with your skeleton that then affects your teeth. Third molars. I'm going to do a Mythbusters section right now. Here's a tip. Third molars don't push other teeth. We have done study after study after study. All the meta-analysis show third molars do not push your teeth out of alignment. So If you're one of those people that was like, you know, after I got those third molars out, everything shifted and it was out of place. Well, if you didn't wear your retainer religiously after you got your third molars out, then your teeth just did a natural shifting. And it's just that you started to notice it at that point. Because everyone's teeth, whether or not you have third molars or not, shift towards the middle and crowd over time. So if you don't wear your retainers, that's what's going to happen. You're going to get crowding in the front of your mouth. Now, this is a protective evolutionary mechanism because we used to lose teeth or have them shaved down or wear happen, and we didn't have a way to replace them because we didn't have modern fillings, crowns, bridges, everything else. And so your body needed to move teeth towards the front so that you could keep eating and having a good diet. So it's something that used to be protective. And now that we can keep our teeth longer and live a long life with good nutrition, and we can replace it with implants and crowns and bridges, we don't need our teeth to move forward like that. So that's why we get the crowding in the front. Okay, another thing that can happen is that you're wearing your retainers, everything's going okay, but you get gum and bone disease. And so that's when you're permanently losing bone vertically. When this occurs, you need to see a periodontist. And you can start seeing black triangles form. You may not love how everything's looking, even though your teeth are perfectly straight. It's an active disease process that you need to get stopped immediately. So talk to your dentist about going to see a periodontist if you're having gum recession, bone recession, and you think your teeth are looking a little bit too long. So those are the types of changes that can happen over time, even though you're wearing your retainer. And some of those things are things that your orthodontist can help with, and a lot of those things are things that your orthodontist can say, hey, let's keep wearing your retainer, but let's go see this other person. So you want to be aware of those. And I think that lets you know how to take care of them. So if there's any further questions, I'd love to see comments on social media. Just, I have a question about a retainer on this, or I have a question about a retainer on that. And I will certainly answer you back. And if you're a patient of mine and you still have lingering questions, go ahead and call in. We'll set up a virtual appointment anytime. We'd love to see you guys.